A warm welcome to another episode of Today's Parent, where we connect you with experts and provide you with information to make your parenting journey a bit more easier. I'm your host, Christine Casina. In today's show, we are talking about blended families. Are you a stepmom? Are you a stepdad? Are you in a blended family? We are about connecting you with an expert today who's going to make your step family journey a bit more easier. It could be challenging for a few people, but we are here to connect you with resources that will make it something that is no longer a challenge to you. In studio, we have Jackie Care of the Blended Family Network, who's going to share with us tips on how to thrive as a step family or a blended family. Jackie.
Yes.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Christine. Thank you for having me.
It's very nice to have you.
Thank you.
Tell me something. Is there a difference between a step family and a blended family?
There are actually two different schools of thoughts. There are people who think that the name blended families should only be used to refer to the families where both parents actually came with kids from previous relationships.
Right.
And with such families, both of the adults in this relationship are actually step parents to each other's kids. And step families are those that one of us actually came with a child or children from a different relationship.
Right.
However, as days go by, we are actually using these terms to the term blended family,
and step family,
interchangeably.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I'm curious how you got into this line of work, because the connotation of step, when somebody is a stepmother, stepfather, especially a stepmother, from way back when the story of Cinderella and the stepmother who was evil and cruel, that's the connotation that most people get of a step parent, that they're just, bad people.
Yeah.
But I know it's not the case, and that's why we are here today also to demystify the fact that it's possible for a step family to be happy and for them to thrive.
Yeah.
But it doesn't come easy. So what are the common challenges when it comes to step families and blended families?
Why I chose this job that I do and I love so much, it's actually because I am in a step family. I have been a stepmom for the last 18 years and still counting.
That's a long time.
Yes. And it can be a very lonely and challenging journey. And I knew there are people out there who are in families like mine and may need support and may need help.
Very true.
Into walking through these journeys, because step families are not doomed to live with confusion and sadness.
And negativity.
No. There are actually a lot of step families out here that are working with the right skills, the right attitudes, the right support. It is possible to build a step family that actually works. So that is how I got into this and founded the Blended Family Network.
Right.
To support families that are like mine and to help them to build emotionally healthy and balanced family relationships that each and every member of that family will thrive from. So that is how I started my journey. The challenges, as you ask, are so many. There's the challenge of discipline, because remember, one of us is a biological parent, the other one is not. There's the challenge of just even functioning as a family.
As a family unit.
Yes, functioning as one, because one of us or an entire unit of another family came and joined an existing unit.
With their own perspective, the way they do things, their own family rules.
Oh, yes. So there's that. There's also the children in the step family units are in a delicate position. So also just creating an environment that is good for these kids to thrive as children and as adults in future.
Right.
That is also a challenge. And there's also the challenge of this marriage. How do we keep this marriage and make this marriage actually work? Remember, most likely than not, there is an ex somewhere. How do we actually make sure that we can form harmonious family unit despite all these other things that are playing around us? So those are just basic challenges that we face in step families.
Jackie, in a step family setting, a blended family setting, what are the rules of engagement?
First of all, we appreciate the fact that our step family is different from the other families. And just because we are different, it should not be the reason to hide. Because most people in step families today hide because of the difference and the negative stereotypes around
Being a stepmom or a stepdad or
and even
being in a
just
blended
being a
family.
member of a step family.
Right.
So first of all, the rules of engagement is to understand the difference of your family, because structure defines function.
I like that.
You cannot use a fork to eat soup. The structure of a fork was meant for the function of a fork. So the difference is what is not appreciated. So one of the biggest challenge and the things that will define our rule of engagement is the fact that, okay, what is my structure like? What is my dynamics that I'm facing? Because also remember, as much as we are all step families, there are different kinds of step families. The my rule of engagement in mine and yours, though we are all in step families, could be different. I could be married to a widow, so there was death. For you, it could be divorce. For another, it could be a totally different thing.
So all those are different dynamics.
All those are different dynamics. But one of the major thing that a step parent has to do is first to remember that you cannot just rush into it. And go there, make differences, decide that, okay, this room does not look nice. I think this kabati needs to be there. So first you have to go slow.
What do you mean by going in slowly?
Going in slowly is taking time to understand what is working for this family, what
Right.
will work for you, and what is the common ground. So the first rule of engagement as a step parent, you will get into this family slowly. Be patient. You have to have perseverance as you get into this different set of units that you have found there.
That's a good tip.
Yes. As a bio parent, you don't forget your child. Don't forget your child just because you've gotten a spouse. And this especially for men. They know that because I was a single father, a single parent, now I have gotten a woman to come into my life. They now know, okay, that docket is sorted.
Handed it over.
Yes, and they go out there and do whatever they want and can come back late or go and work. And in their mind, they know that the home is already okay because there's a woman now to take care of my children. And there's also this misconception that just because you're a woman, you have the motherness
in you
and motherhood,
and
you
can
mother
natural.
him or her. Yes. And it's not the same. Even though I may have the motherness, motherhood, and all that, the relationships here are still so fragile. You are needed in your house. Your child needs you. So as a bio parent, you have to take care of your children to know that they also adjust well to this new family.
Dynamic, right?
Yes. And also believe you brought in a spouse. So you also have to be there for your spouse to support them to create these relationships that will help the entire family to work well.
Right.
Because you're the common factor between these two. And for the ex, co-parenting is good. If today your child is the one in a step family,
right,
and you're not yet married, it is good to support them, support your child, because if you use your child to fight the environment that your child is going to be raised in, you can be assured that you will not have an emotionally balanced adult, man or woman, at the end of the day. Because you're going to be sabotaging even the man or the woman that God created your child to be.
And you know, their well-being in this situation is very, very important for us to safekeep that.
It is. It is very important to do that. And also, this also will go back to the couple that is in the step family, for the marriage. Strong families are built around strong marriages. Strong families are not built around strong parents. Waliparent watoto wao vizuri, hao ndo strong. No, they're not.
So strong families are built around strong marriages.
No matter what type of family that is. So your marriage is very important. You have to invest in it so that it can be a strong foundation to withhold all the challenges and the complexities that we are going to talk about.
Yes.
That it will be the backbone that withholds those challenges that you will face.
That the two of you are strong together.
Yes. So you have to invest in that marriage. And also, it is not about choosing either, do I choose my spouse or my child? Who comes first?
Right.
Yeah. I think that is also a misconceived notion. Because you're both a parent and a spouse. You're not either.
You're both.
I am a mother, I'm a wife. I am not or. As a mother, there's an expectation that is there for me. And as a wife, there's an expectation that is there for me.
As a spouse, of course.
Yes. And also, even in the other ordinary nuclear families, people are both wives
And spouses.
and parents. Yeah, spouse and
parents, yes.
But when it comes to blended family, because I came with my child, we have the mine and ours and yours, I can decide that, oh, you want me to choose between you and my child.
And it shouldn't be the case.
It shouldn't
should
be the
never
case.
be the case.
Those two roles are not in competition. And they shouldn't be in competition because you are both. And they require you at whatever level that it is. Yeah.
Well, Jackie, we are going to go on a short break. You have shared the challenges that step families face, that blended families take. And when you come back from the break with us, we would want you to share how to overcome these challenges. I know for a parent who's watching, who's in a step family kind of setup, this is going to be very useful to them. In studio today, we have Jackie Kerr of the Blended Family Network. We have been sharing about the challenges that blended families face. And when we come back from the break, we are going to get from Jackie the tips on how to overcome these challenges so our step families can thrive and succeed. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to today's episode of Today's Parent. In studio today, we have Jackie Kerr of the Blended Family Network, and we are talking about blended families and how we can provide support and resources to you so you can thrive as a step family. The one thing you need to do, if you have any question on this episode, please send your SMSs that is shared at the bottom of your screen, and we are going to get back to you. Jackie, moving forward, when it comes to the solutions that step families face, that blended families face, what are the do's and don'ts? What can parents out there who are step parenting, how can they overcome these challenges?
Okay, like we said before, that the challenges in step families are many. So one of the things that I think we have to really look at is children in blended families, the children in step families. We need to understand that the children in step families actually go through a lot of challenges.
I can imagine.
Yes. It's not easy being a stepchild. And step families are born out of loss. Step families are not those people just met and there was a story of loss in the background. The loss was either divorce, death, unfulfilled promises, where a guy just made a child pregnant, a young girl pregnant, and they left. Or not even just a young girl, even as adult women, the men who can make you pregnant and they go. It just doesn't happen to young kids.
Very true.
So all these things you hear, there was loss that happened. So step families are born out of loss. And children in step families, it means that they have experienced loss. So one of the things that we have to do as the adults in step families, we have to understand our children, understand that they've gone through loss, understand that their perception of trust has been shaken. Yes, it has shifted, it has been shaken. Understand that for them to be able to get into a step family, there are other things that also they go through psychologically. They also read about Snow White. I mean, they've never been exposed to any literature where step families had they lived happily forever after.
That is true.
Yes. So they're also imagining and wondering, okay, daddy or mommy is doing this, but what's my life going to be like? So they also have worries that their life might not be as good because of the socialization and the stuff that they read. There are changes that they will go through them without having chosen this life.
Yeah.
If you are a firstborn, your mom's firstborn, and your mom gets married to somebody who has 3 kids who are older than you, you will get into that family and become a middle child.
So then you lose your position as
the firstborn.
Your usual firstborn position.
And you need to know how to live as a middle child, because again, maybe they may have another child. So those are the things also we have to consider as parents. There's also the aspect that they may have to shift house. They may have to move from schools to go to another school. They may have to share a room, yet they had a room to themselves. They may have to, the economy, the finances may be shared, so it is limited. It's not as easily available as it was
prior.
And then there's the challenge of, okay, even when you tell your friends that, okay, now this is what this is where I'm at, I'm a stepchild, you don't know how you will be perceived. So they have also to manage their social life out there. So the first thing that we have to do as the adults who make our children stepkids is to also understand them. Understand the fact that they have a journey to take, they have challenges to take. Create an environment that is safe for them to be able to express those fears. And we can reassure them through this journey.
Is it any different parenting step adults compared to children? Are the dynamics different for parenting step adults?
The dynamics of step families and even parenting and functionality in a step family actually depends in the individual step family. When they agree on how the functionality will be, and that functionality supports each and every individual in the step family to be better, then that is what works. It's not a copy-paste. However, adult kids may be easier because they're not what? They're not needy, and they have
compared to children.
Yes, and
at a younger age.
Yes, and they've also at a level that they have created a sense of identity.
Right.
They're clear about who mom is. They're clear about who dad is. They're clear about what happened. I mean, they're clear about all the processes that have happened. So, as a step parent, you just have to define what your role will be in their lives.
Right.
I did not say parent, that you have to parent them, because they have been parented. Yes, they need parenting. Yes, but you have to define what is going to be your role in their life. You can be a guide, you can be a coach, you can be their friend, you can support them in ABCD, but you know that in XYZ, this they don't need me. And don't feel bad that that part is not yours. This is our sacred part for our mom. That is okay. Yeah.
Okay. The one thing that you do and you're very passionate about is offering support for blended families. So what does the Blended Family Network do, and what support do you offer to blended families?
The Blended Family Network is out to support individuals in step families to build healthy and emotionally balanced family units.
Very important.
And emotionally balanced is the key here.
What is emotionally balanced?
That everyone's needs, basic needs in this family are met. That we can function as a whole. That we can support each other. We can be there for each other. Though we have our rough edges because of our step family dynamics. Yeah.
But we can still find a way to work together towards the common goal.
Yes.
To have a strong family unit.
Yes. We will support you as a child to the best that you will be.
Right.
Whether you're mine or his or ours. That in this environment we have created, you will get to your dream. And we will be there with you, we will walk with you. So that is the family unit that may not be easy to come by as a step family, but with the right support,
it is possible.
It is possible. So that is what at the core of blended family unit, blended family network. That is what we do.
Right.
So we do this by premarital preparation.
Okay.
Just the step family preparation. We prepare couples for step family living. We help you come with a roadmap that works for your unique step family unit. We also have Stepmom Wisdom, a program for stepmoms, because most of the time the wicked step parent is always portrayed as a stepmom, not a stepdad.
Not a stepdad, unfortunately.
Yeah, that even stepmoms think being a stepdad is easier. And maybe it is. But I think it's because moms spend a lot of time with kids. So even if you're a foster mom, stepmom, bio mom, whatever connotation, prefix you put before mom, know that you will spend a lot of time with kids.
Very true.
And that means you will have a bit of friction more. So Stepmom Wisdom is for stepmoms, just to support them so that they can navigate through their role in step family well.
Okay.
And find a new way to live, love, and also parent. And also don't lose yourself into because of the negative stereotypes. Yeah. And we also have support for people who are going through divorce. You can get your fresh start. How do you start again? Yeah.
So talking about support, do you do it through one-on-one coaching? Do you have meetings, monthly meetings, a WhatsApp group? You know, for any mom or stepmom, stepdad watching out there who wants to connect with your network, how can they do so?
We have one-on-one coaching for those who want.
Right.
We have group coaching, especially for the preparation, marriage preparation, and stepmom wisdom. That is for groups. And I also run a blended moms network.
Wonderful.
Yes. That is a WhatsApp group that we have. And when we get in, anytime you have an issue and you're stuck, there are peer counseling. There are moms who are in the same shoe as you who will support you in the group. And I also give my feedback. I also support them whenever needed. Right now, we are in the midst of creating chapter 2.
Okay.
Because, you know, if you put many of them in the group, it will lose its salt, and some people might not be heard. So this is already full. I am creating a chapter 2 of Blended Moms Network.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
The other thing, before you go, I know you're very passionate about your book, talking about resources. As a coach, I know you offer a lot of support, the one-on-one coaching, but there's one thing you haven't shared with us.
Yeah.
Tell us a bit about your book as we wrap up.
Oh, A Delicate Balance is the title of this book, because as I said, I am in a blended family. And
for 18 years and more, you mentioned.
Yes.
It's been 18 years already.
Yes. And it's actually a delicate balance. So this is a simple to read book. It is a guide that will help individuals in step families, either if you're in or you're about to get in, just to learn about the dynamics and how to parent in a step family. So remember, I said structure defines function. So this book will help you understand the structure of your step family.
Right.
And when you understand the structure of your step family, then you start understanding the functions that each and every one of you in this step family have. So this book touches on step parents. It touches on the challenges that kids go through. It touches on the dynamics that step families have.
Right.
And also it touches on the ex. How do we deal with the ex so that it's not breaking us up? How do we understand their situation so that we can handle them better? Yes.
Jackie.
Yes,
Thank
Miriam.
you so much for coming to the show to come and share. For parents who are watching out there who are in a blended family, these tips that you have shared are going to be so useful to them. We thank you for your time, for your resources, and I hope many of them will connect with you.
Thank you for having me.
And with that, we come to the end of today's episode of Today's Parent. We were talking about blended families, and in studio we had Jackie Care of Blended Families Network, who shared resources on how we can thrive as a blended family. I hope you found the tips to be useful and something that will help your step family grow and thrive. I have been your host, Christine Casina. If you're looking for parenting resources, go to www.supermamas.co.ke. For this show and other exciting shows, we have them loaded on YouTube. Go to Switch TV on YouTube and you'll be able to see our previous episodes. We have been in studio at Little Cribs, the home of exciting kids furniture that are durable and are also affordable. See you next time.